Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh. Ba'asham. Yahweh Shai. Ba'asham Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. Right? Salutations. To the elder bishops in Connecticut. The bishops, the brothers, the priests, the brothers in the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect. The elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. And we're going into, the Lord is, he's working, man. These different plagues the Lord is going to be given unto this spiritual Egypt is just like he did before, right? So the Lord is going to cause things that haven't been seen in a while, right? And it says, see where cicada brews will, while emerging for the first time in over 200 years, man. So this is going to be, unprecedented situation during a time where you already have the, where we're about to have this lunar eclipse, right? Oh no, solar eclipse, Salakia. The solar eclipse, and then it's basically, it's going to put the final X to the final lines, or the final markings, which is going to make an X across the United States, right? Which is Xing this place out. But things have to come in that process, these certain plagues. But it says more than a dozen states across the United U.S. are set for a once in a lifetime experience this spring, right? Though it's one most people would probably prefer to do without, right? You prefer to do without this, right? Because, hey, it's, the Lord says it's going to be a day like none other, right? You rather do without this, man, because these are basically, these cicadas are basically like flies, huge flies, right? It says this year, 16 states across parts of the southern and Midwest will see the emerging of two different cicadas. Oh shit! Oh my! I didn't even know that it was gonna be two different types of cicadas too. Cicada groups. All right. 10 tandem, and crossover that hasn't happened in 221 years and won't again until 2245, right? Which you're never going to make it to 2245, right? Yeah, so this is it says I guess a lot of people ask this question. They ask why do cicadas only come up every 13 to 17 years. And it says, however, they believe the cycle has evolved to help cicadas avoid predators. The insects are food for many animals, including birds, lizards, and sometimes humans. So people be eating these cicadas from time to time, I guess, by emerging at strategic times. So I guess it's a certain way you have to. It has to be a certain, because they only come out a certain time. So it has to be every 13 to 17 years if you can catch them, right? But this is going to be unprecedented. They're saying, so it's not going to be just a few here and there. They're basically saying it's going to be thousands, right? I think that's what they're saying. It's going to be more than just the few occasional that you wait to eat it as a delicacy every 13 to 17 years. Cicadas may avoid some dangers and have more successful mating seasons. See, and I guess they be underground or something like that. They be in the dirt, so they have these successful mating seasons. Yeah, so this is the NPR.org. It says animals. It says a fungus is pushing cicada sexual sex into hyperdrive and leaving them dismembered. Now, this article was a while back ago, May 18th of 2021. But this is must be significant to what's going on now, right? I'm guessing. You know what I mean? It says after 17 years underground, the Brew X periodical cicadas are slowly emerging in 15 states across the East Coast and Midwest. They'll shed their skins and spend 4 to 6 weeks mating before the female lay eggs and they all die. But some of them are getting wilder in their short lives above ground. A fungus called Mesospora, which can produce compounds of cathinos and amphetamine insects a small number infects a small number of them and makes them lose control. So these are like doped up insects, man. Insects get high off this whatever, and it says that they wild out. They get wilder. So the fungus takes over their bodies, causing them to lose their lower abdomen and genitals, and it pushes their mating into hyperdrive. Right. Because now the insect is like, oh no, this thing is going to make my genitals fall off, so I better get it in now before it falls off, I guess. right? And they all doped up or something. Amphetamines, huh? They off that amphetamines too, huh? You know? Yeah, so this is CNN. It says billions, see? Because it's saying that thing is hyper, the sexualized, the sex is being on hyperdrive, right? So so it's going to be billions of cicadas are set to appear in a rear double, a rare double brew emerging, scientists say. I'm just going to go ahead and just skip down right here. It says in a matter of months they will dig their way out from underground, red eyes shining, deafening songs filling the air. It will be a confluence of creatures the likes of which hasn't been seen in the United States since Thomas Jefferson was president, and won't happen again until 2245. It's a rare emergence of insects some are referring to as the cicada apocalypse. Yeah, so this is Psalms 105 and 6. O ye seed of Abraham, right? And Abraham had many children. He had like 8 different sons, right? But the Lord is only talking about a seed, not seeds, seed, as in one. His servant, ye children of what? Of Jacob, his chosen. So going from Abraham, Isaac, and to Jacob, right? He is Yahweh, our power, right? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is our power. His judgments are in all the earth. And so ultimately that's what's happening right now. The Lord's judgment is going forth through all the earth, but the main focal of judgment is Babylon the Great, right? Or the daughter of Egypt, the daughter of Babylon, the daughter of Egypt, right? Right? Spiritually Egypt, spiritually Babylon, right? And many other spiritual kingdoms that it represents, right? Nineveh, right? Tyre, right? It's these gods and all these things that America has tried to use as gatekeepers for these different gods, right? He is Yahweh, our power. His judgments are in all the earth. He had remembered his covenant forever. See, so the Lord remembered what he had forever, from Abraham unto Isaac, from Isaac unto Jacob, right? And it's forever. The word which I commanded to 1,000 generations, right? Which basically is another way of saying forever, right? Which covenant I had made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, right? And confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel, which is the same person, right? Then you got the 12 tribes of Israel, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant, right? Which is talking about the 12 tribes, saying unto them, not the whole world, everlasting, the world, right? God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, right? That whosoever should believe in him shall have everlasting life and not perish. Well, that everlasting life, God so loved the world, right? He's telling you the world that he loved, right? An everlasting covenant forever. So it's ever, it's forever. Saying unto them, I will give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance, right? So we have to go back to that land. But what's happening over there right now, man? A bastards dwelling in Ashdod committing all sorts of military crimes right now, crimes of humanity, crimes of spiritual crimes, right? Kosher kosher pig, kosher cigarettes, pink cities, right? The Lord has to judge that first. So the first thing, the Lord has to go after that military arm first, right? That power, their teeth, the military, which is America. Yeah. So this is Psalms 94:5. They break in pieces thy people, right? So he's saying, hey, judge these people, man. It's time for the Lord to put judgment and forth in the earth, right? And they break in pieces the Lord's people. O Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, and afflict thy inheritance, right? Right? Because the Lord said that you're not supposed to touch the Lord's anointed or his prophets, right? And in every captivity that we've been in, there were what? There were prophets, right? There was anointed there. And what happened? The Lord brought them down. They slay the widow and the stranger and murder the fatherless, man. And that's ultimately, yeah, that's what you do, man. Especially under this American captivity. I mean, they did it in other captivities too, but this American society, this captivity that we've been in, especially, I mean, even now, but definitely going back into slavery, right? Yeah, so this is Deuteronomy 28:54. So that the man which is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, right? And we've done that under this captivity of America, right? The light skinned against the dark skinned, the young against the old, Crips against Bloods, GDs against Vice Lords, right? You know, you got the so-called the Northern and Serenials and the Northerners. You know, that basically kind of goes into that whole spill, right? You got the Mexican gangs, you got the Puerto Rican gangs, you got, you just got Israel just all jacked up, whether you so-called black, whether you Hispanic, whether you Native American, right? Got us all sorts of mischief, hating our own brothers. And towards the wife of his bosom, right? You know, got us in these gender wars, and they're continue to push in these gender wars. I just barely found out something about it's called B4 or whatever it's called. It's from um, South Korea or somewhere, some Asian place, somewhere far place from here. But the B4 movement, right? And they're still pushing that the gender war basically, right? And it says and yeah, towards his wife and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, right? Dealing with our children being fatherless, and prior to that, they were giving our children away via different plantations and separating the father from the children. And you're talking 200-300 years of not having fathers in the house, and then systematically doing it during the time of the 60s, when you bring in Section 8 and all these different things, saying that yeah, you can have a place to stay, we'll give you money, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, but you just can't let the man stay there, right? Doing it that way, separating the fathers, so that way they should leave, towards the remnant of their children, which he shall leave. So it causes the man to leave the situation, and then of course you got the situation where our women are too promiscuous. So then the man is not willing to claim children, whether if it's his or not his. The women are under this system, under America, it's too promiscuous, right? Babylon. Yeah, so this is Deuteronomy 23 and 17. There shall be no whore, so like there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, right? And so what have they set up here for the daughters of Israel to be whores, man, in this society? So these women are being highly promiscuous. So it leaves the father saying, hey, look, they'll dip out just because of that, right? Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. So this is the conditions that America has left the daughters and the sons of Israel in, right? But this should not be so. This not amongst the daughters and the sons of Israel, right? Thus shall not bring the hire of a whore, nor the price of a dog into the house of Yahweh thy power for any vow, right? So, of course, you got prostitute, but you got male prostitutes, right? That's the price of a dog, right? It says for even both these are an abomination unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai thy power, man. See, and this is the conditions that America has left us in, as far as well, not you know not us, but just Israel in general. Just saying, it has a blanket statement, because a lot of people ain't done it, but it also tells you in the scriptures that if it wasn't so, that the Lord has to shorten the days, or we'll all be like Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Because then you're even if you haven't did it in this society, it will leave you complicit to the status quo, right? And that's what we're not trying to be at all, right? Yeah, so this is Leviticus 18 and 3. And after the doings of the land of Egypt wherein ye dwelled, ye shall not do, right? You shouldn't do not do after the manner of Egypt where you lived at, which we're in this spiritual Egypt or this modern day Egypt, which is spiritually known as Babylon the Great, or you know, or Egypt or Nineveh, right? Right? Wherein ye dwell, ye not do after the doing of the land of Canaan, right? But America is also known as Canaan, right? They call it New Canaan, right? Wherein whether I bring you, ye shall not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinance, right? Dealing with the things that they do, because that's back in. Oh, it's also spiritually Rome, right? America's definitely spiritually Rome when you look at all their what do you call it? Their buildings of judicial, right? The federal buildings, their judicial buildings. They're built like Petra, right? And they're built like Rome, and they're built like Greece, right? Because these are the people. These are the same people, the Edomites, right? And so it says in Leviticus 18 and 22, thus shall not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination, right? So it's abomination for a man to lie down with another man. But under America, right, you could do that. See? Neither shall thus lie with any beast, right? See, in America, that thing is happening on a higher scale, especially nowadays. In the 2024, I mean, just look up people having sex with animals or dogs or whatever. That, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's crazy, right? It says neither shall thus lie with any beast to defile thyself wherewith, neither therewith. So neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down unto it. It is confusion, right? And we're in the land of confusion, which there it is. America being Babylon, Babel means confusion. The daughter of Babylon, which is also the daughter of Egypt, right? That's America, which says, defile not yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations, right? Plural, all these nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. So these nations, they all had to go. They all had to get cast out, destroyed, right, out of that land, right? So now the Lord has to stand up and defend Israel, and he has to cast these people who do all these abominable things out of this land. Right. So this is Second Esdras chapter 15, verse 9. Second Esdras chapter 15, verse 9. And therefore saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, I surely avenge them, right? So the Lord is coming to avenge us, starting with the elect of the nation of Israel, right? And to receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them, right? Because you've murdered the innocent, right? the widows, the children, the fatherless, the strangers, right? You've murdered them, right? You left us in the ghettos, the vadios, the reservations, right? Right? I will receive unto me the innocent blood from among them. Behold, which means feature eyes, look, pay attention. My people are led as a flock to the slaughter, right? And this is through what? Systematic government, right? Because which government means mind control, through the mind control of the government, right? These what is it, keeping up with the Joneses type mentality, setting up, the mind frame that even Jake think all he is just a gangster, a thug, right? Because you portrayed that image throughout the world that either Jake is perpetuating it, or there's Jakes or Israelites that's scared of their own people, because these people are portraying gangsters and thugs and all these other different things, right? Which is not healthy or conducive to a community, right? A true community, right? So they're always at odds with each other, right? And that's what the divide and conquer mentality of Esau Edom, right? Because you're always gonna have that. I'm not a African American. I'm a nigga. And then you got the other one saying, I ain't no nigga. I'm a African American, and I'm proud of my. And then they think of, and they say Thurgood Marshall. They think of all these other great people who had great speeches and postures and doing these things. But look, none of those things work. Whether you're gangbanging or you're trying to go into these politics, it doesn't work. Only Yahweh Bashim Shai works, right? And he's gonna work, and it has worked, and he's gonna continue to do the work, and that's what he's doing right now. That's what he said. For behold, which means look, pay attention. My people are led as a flock to the slaughter, right? You right into this this MOTB, right into the gas prices, because I just read an article saying that Israel, because they're warring, they're getting ready to go against Iran, which is beautiful. That's prophecy. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's we needed you to do that, but they're saying because this is happening now, it's going to raise up the barrels of oil from 80 to now it's like $86 a barrel, which is going to go up. It's going to be like $100, $120, $130, $140, $160, $200 a barrel. So each time they're going to say it's going to cost this amount for these barrels, it's going to lead you to the flock. Lead the flock of the Lord to the slaughter, right? Because a lot of people are just, I mean, you gotta go along to get along, right? If you can't, they have that saying, if you can't beat them, join them, and that's basically what a lot of people have done, right? This is following their celebrity, lesser illuminated people, right? Throwing up the Baphomet and this and that, doing the songs, not knowing that they're falling right into Satan's trap, right? And I can't wait to see one of these rap songs, because they did already do a song speaking about some type of Bitcoin or something. Snoop. Yeah, I can't wait till they start doing these rap songs about having the charagma. And you ain't cool unless you got the charagma, which Snoop Dogg and somebody else did a song about Bitcoin or some type of Bitcoin or some type of digital coin, right? But that's not the MOTB, not quite yet. But you could see where it's going, what you call them doing? Was it Juvenile max that thing up, right? Told them to get the juicy juice, max yourself up, right? So my people are being led as a flock my behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, right? And we're talking about the spiritual Egypt, which is America, right? Yeah, so this is Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, right? That great city, which is talking about America, Babylon the Great, right? But as it's calling it Babylon, right? It's also, well, it's calling it Egypt, right? Because that great city, right? Says this is Revelation chapter 17, verse 5, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abomination of the earth, right? Which is dealing with America, right? Speaking about America as if it's a woman, right? Right? So as it's saying, that great city, right, which is Babylon the Great, which is spiritually what? Sodom, right? Which we know that they, under Obama, right, which is a Hamite. He's a Kenyan or whatever whatever it is. He's an actual legitimate Hamite. He's not one of us, right? And Egypt, right, which we came out of, which I just read, do not do after the manners or the ordinance of Egypt, right? Which in Egypt, it was a lot of homosexuality in Egypt. There was a lot of freakism in Egypt, right? A lot of things going on in Egypt, right? And then also in Canaan, right? That Canaan, in which you live in spiritual Egypt and you live in spiritual Canaan, right? Which is America all at once. Where also our Lord was crucified, right? And they basically, well, Vladimir Putin showed you the true image of the Messiah, which is a dark-skinned, woolly hair, so-called what you would call a black man, right? Which really there's no such thing as black man, right? There's many shades of brown, right? No matter how dark people try to say, well, I don't know, he was so dark, he looked the purple. Well, that matters not. There's no such thing as there's no such thing as people being black, right? And there's definitely no such thing as a person being white, right? Because their blood show forth through their skin. And you could put a white piece of paper or take some white paint, and their face is not the color of the paint. It's it's a contrast. I get it. You know what I'm saying? If you think of out of people who closer to this, okay, I get what you're saying. But at the same time, what their blood show forth through the skin, also being what a Shashua, right? I mean, wasted away is he, because his blood is showing forth through his skin. Everybody else has melanin. They're the only people on the planet that don't have melanin, and you people are the only ones who are simple enough to just believe it. All you dark races, not just Jakes. You got plenty of other dark races be like, well, if you're not black people, then what are you? And what's this? And people ask dumb questions, man. You know what I mean? There is no such thing as black or white, right? There's many shades of brown, and then you just have the Edomite, man, who now is Esau, which is wasted away, but now it's Edom because he ate the red porridge, right? So it says, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. So this is what the condition of the world, right? Because the world, they'll laugh at you because they'll say, hey, you don't know who you are, right? Right? That's why they decided to throw the identity crisis on us, right? Yeah. Yeah, so this is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 16. It says, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding. And who is that? That's the Israelite man. What man? The Israelite man. It's not talking about everybody. It's only talking about the Israelite man. And really, it's only talking about, uh, um, you know, well, 2/3 of Israel is going to stay in the congregation. But it's talking about an Israelite man because he's gonna wake up. He's gonna wake up out of the nonsense. He's gonna be awoken out of death, right? Because that's the reason why the parable of Lazarus coming from the dead is actually a parable about all Israel, right? That's the situation to that. That's a representation of all of Israel. Lazarus rising from the dead, and that's us. Says but the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead, right? So this is John 11:43. The Lazarus represents all of Israel, but it actually starts with the elect, right? Because everybody's not gonna wake up on this side, right? So, and when he said, "Thus has spoken," he cried with a loud voice, "Lazarus, come forth," which is talking about Yahushua, who the world even calls Jesus Christ, right? And he that was dead came forth bound hand and foot. And see, that's ultimately what America does to us, man. You know, they have these so-called goals of this, what it means to be this and have this, and every time we achieve this, they move the goal line, right? They change what it means to be an American, or how you get to have this so-called American dream. And they're always moving the goalposts. They're always moving the goal line, you know. And the criterias and all these different things. You know, they did a lot of redlining and all sorts of different stuff when it came to us. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what? Because they're figuring you so-called you couldn't do it. You know, I mean, what was the name of that movie? That was a pretty good example with the so-called little Judite women, the one that helped them come up with the numbers to go into outer space. And then she was like, "You guys keep moving the goalposts. You said if I just get this and get that, I get that. You said, well, you know what? You need to get this degree. And if you just get this, then we get." Then she went, worked hard, went to school, got that. Then well, you need this is you know how they bind our feet, our hands and our feet, through all these policies and different things, right? With grave clothes, see, and ultimately that's what they give you. They give you nigga culture, right? Grave clothes, to the point that a nigga will go on his song and say, I look so fresh, like I came out of casket, right? I mean, literally, this was Jakes was rapping about, right? I'm so fresh, it looked like I came out of caskets, because, or they'll say, I look courtroom fresh, you know. You can only look fly or fresh if you're gonna be in a casket or you're going to court. And this is that grave clothes that they have given us, and his face was bound about with a napkin, right? And all you could see is their white supremacy right in front of you, right? And you basically, they want you just to swallow it down like it means nothing. Oh, that was so long ago. Oh, 400 years, that was a long time ago. But then they would turn around, and then the Haitian brothers, which is our brothers, make them pay for defending themselves, and make them pay for defeating two militaries that were far more advanced than they were, right? trying to fight for their freedom. If those were so-called Edomites, they would have been talking about how brave they were and how commemorable that is, because these people were they were gonna enslave them. They were enslaving them, and they just fought for their freedom, right? Like they tell you a lot of these other stories, when a lot of those stories were Jake, like Braveheart. Those were actually Jakes. Those were actually so-called black men, man. Right? This is why what's his name hates Jake so much, man. Right? Mel Gibson, which he might be a Jake. Who knows? But he knows that who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ is what they would call a so-called black man. He know when he played the dude from Braveheart that those were Jakes, right? Ireland means black land. You know what I mean? So it's like, but yeah, let me just get to this. And this is the thing they want you to see: is white supremacy. Put this stuff right in your face. You're supposed to just swallow it down. Hey, we're just glad you brought us from Africa, right? And the native brothers got to say, you know what? We're so happy that you did it. At least we're just so happy for these casinos, which those ain't a righteous thing. Yeah, you're making a little money. You got little things, you know. But hey, guess what? That money's finna turn into the Karagma, right? You can get your per caps and your per diems or whatever you want to call it, but that's gonna come with the mark of the beast, right? Yeah. So basically, what America is, what spiritually, what Sodom and Egypt also, right along with Babylon, right? But I will bring them, right, Slakia, 2nd Esdras 15 and 11, and I will bring them with a mighty hand, right, which is talking about Yahweh Shai, and a stretched out arm, right, dealing with the angels, right, and Michael. The Lord's going to bring Michael too, the archangel Michael, and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt, right, which it has to be talking about this spiritual Egypt, because it's going to say what? With plagues as before, right? In Egypt right now is not a major power in the earth, right? America is, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the fountains of it shall be smitten with plagues and punishment, that the Most High, Yahweh Bashem El Shai, shall bring upon it. And they that till the ground shall mourn. In which you're seeing that. All the farmers is, oh, look at this. They're telling us to plant GMOs, or they're telling us not to even plant a crop. They just gave us extra money. They gave us the money that we will make through the whole year and told us not to plant crops. Right, because they're planning their man-made famine, right? Which the Lord said was going to happen. We already knew, whether you man-make it or whatever, it doesn't change what the Most High said was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's happening. For their seeds shall fail, right? And they were showing that how the a lot of times those corn stocks, man, they'll be in their tallest buildings, and now I mean, they're growing up barely taller than a midget or something, you know, or let me say, a little people, right? To be politically correct, right? Because everything has to be right. So like you, right? The world's falling apart, but let's be politically correct. Plagues, punishments that Yahweh Bashem shall bring upon it, and they that till the ground shall mourn, and their seed shall fail, though through the blasting and hell, and with a fearful constellation, right? Which, right, that's like your reward, right? Ain't that what they call a situation, a constellation prize? right? Your constellation prize, which and then you're gonna get your reward. You can get your woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and sword in their hands, for there shall be sedition amongst men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cause of their actions shall stand in their power. And that's ultimately what's happening, man. They're using, manipulating the government, which government means mind control, and they're mind controlling the people along the lines of a cannibalism. Do this, do that. I mean, why did you think they put the Netflix movie, the Jeffrey Dahmer? And ever since he put that on there, there's been all sorts of of cannibal activity all in the news, right? Right. So this is being America is spiritual Egypt, but this is what the Lord did to Egypt, and this is pretty much along the same line what the Lord's doing with with the spiritual Egypt in Exodus chapter 8 verse 20. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said unto Moses, rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh, right? In which that's what we've been doing, man. Putting out digital epistles. We're out there on the highways and the byways. We're standing before this spiritual Pharaoh, the spiritual king of Babylon, or the spiritual king of Egypt, right? Lo, which means look, come, he cometh forth to the water, and say unto him, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, let my people go, that they may serve me. And ultimately, that's what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be letting the Lord's people go so that we could serve them, right? Even the whole BS that Vladimir did, he's not letting the people go. He's not saying, hey, look, you guys are the Israelites. Let me give you the money. Let me give you the thing. Let me go put you, I'm saying, let me help you get into the land. As the Balfour Declaration did, right? Let me help you win a war against them, because it's not set up to be that. It's set up for the Bible for them to fight against the Lord, right? According to Ezekiel 38 and Ezekiel 39, and I believe it's in Revelations too, right? It's also in Revelations, right? Right. So it says Salakia. Yeah, else if thus will not let my people go, Salakia 21 is Exodus 18:21, and else if thus will not let my people go, behold, which means look, feast your eyes, pay attention, I will send swarms of flies upon thee and upon thy servants and upon thy people, and into the houses, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be filled with swarms of flies, and the ground were upon they are, right? And then they say that these cicadas are going to come out the ground and this and that. And there's going to be a billion of them, right? So these things are going to fly around. They got these wings. They're going to go into your houses. They're going to be everywhere, right? And there'll be billions of them up upon the ground, right? From where they came. Yeah, so this is Psalms 105 and 30, and their land brought forth frogs in abundance. See, And that's what's coming, man. And one of the days you're gonna see a bunch of frogs and all sorts of different things in abundance in their chambers, in the chambers of the kings. And he spake, and there came diverse sorts of flies. See, and we just read that there are going to be two different sorts of cicadas, right? And then one is going to be wild, erratic, you know, on on some type of. They're going to basically their body, because of what it is, it formulates a drug, an amphetamine, some type of amphetamine, whatever, like a drug. Makes them wild out, right? So it's going to be crazy. Diverse sorts of flies and lice in all their coasts, right? So that's the thing that's coming to America, right? Spiritually Sodom, spiritually Egypt, and spiritually Babylon the Great, which is confusion. So it's going to bring a great deal of confusion to you. Yeah, so this is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 1. Dead flies causeth the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking savor, right? Which that's, that's what this place serves, man. This place, Lord is truly actually Beelzebub, man. You're Lord of the Flies, man, and that's what it represents, man. To give you that stinking savor. Because think about it, it just said when we were reading, it said that all those cicadas, which are basically flies, they're gonna come out, mate, and they're all gonna die. And then they're saying you're talking about a billion cicadas are gonna come out, mate, and then die. So it's gonna bring forth a stinking savor. So doeth a little folly, and that's all America's about. Let's just if we do just a little bit of just a little folly, but a little leaven leaveth the whole lump, man. So you got to be careful with that. Him that is in reputation, reputations like it for wisdom and honor, right? Salakia, reputation of wisdom and honor, and that's what America's supposed to have, right? You're supposed to have this reputation of having wisdom and honor, but then people are looking at how your country's falling apart. You know what I mean? That's why they're bailing out of the dollar, man. It just makes sense to bail out of the dollar, man. If you have this reputation of having honor, yeah, and a wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart at his left, right? And hey, and that's America in itself, man. Right? Everything is left-handed thinking, right? It's never thinking about how can we truly build people up. I mean, you were the richest country in the world at one time. How is it that Russia, who basically fell, basically had their own Great Depression or their own thing, which is in recent times? You're talking like this happened in the 80s. And all through the 90s, they were this poor country and this and that, this and that. Here it is, 2000s, and they got more billionaires in Russia than you have in America. How is it that all of Moscow has bunkers for the entire? They said they can literally save, if a nuclear strike happens right now, the entire city of Moscow can go to a bunker. Which that's something they really, that's wisdom, saying you care for your people. Right? That is wisdom. But a full heart at his left. And you're left-handed thinking, hey, let's just party and BS. And you ain't thinking about your people. You're not thinking about your latter end at all. Right? Yeah, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, yeah. Matter of fact, I'm looking at this. Before I forget, yeah, apothecary. Apothecary is someone who's supposed to have, who's supposed to do medicine, sell their medicine to heal people. But instead, you sell your medicine not to heal people, to give them a symptom, just so it puts like a band-aid on a symptom, but then it ends up causing something else. You don't heal. You know what I mean? You just complete. You use your apothecary, not to heal, but to just to become a drug dealer, right? And that's America. That's a foolish thing. That you think it of always thinking of on the left hand side, right? That's why it said, full on his left hand, because you think, I could do this. I could just make the medicine just good enough where it sustains them, where it eases the pain, but it's never gonna go away. We could just keep drawing them along, but then your body also become immune. Now even that's not working. So now you got to come up with something else, or something else, or a lot of times you don't even come up with it. You don't have nothing. So your thing is you'll just take the same drug, rename it, and put it back out there. That's you. That's America, man. Yeah. So this is Wisdom Solomon chapter 19, verse 10. For they were yet mindful of the things that were done while they sojourned in the strange land. Right. That strange land was Egypt. Right. How the ground brought forth flies instead of cattle, and how the rivers cast up a multitude of frogs instead of fishes, right? Right, in the land of Egypt, and that's happening all over again here in America, right? Oh yeah, see, look, yes, it says a punishment cometh upon sinners not without former signs. So that's what the Lord said. I shall smite Egypt with the plagues as before. So now you're getting those same signs, right? By force of thunders, for they suffer justly according to their own wickedness, so in so much as they use more hard and hateful behavior towards strangers. And that's what America's doing, man. It's completely divided. It's the divided states of America, man. You definitely never liked the so-called black man. You never liked the so-called Mexican or the so-called native. You may pretend to have some type of love or compassion towards them, and you prop them up so they can look down on their brother. Hey, that's cool. That's fine and dandy. But look, overall, the Lord is looking for the elect. Right? You got all these illegals in here, and y'all not showing forth love thy neighbor as thyself. You're willing to uh, freaking kill these illegals, right? You're willing to do all sorts of things towards these illegals, right? For the Sodomites did not receive those. See, when the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, they didn't receive any signs. So guess what? You receive signs, you receive wonders, you receive all sorts of things, man. Right? You about to get another sign real soon with this eclipse. You're gonna have the flies, the cicadas. You're gonna have, hey, you got the prophets, man. Week in and week out, prophesied the downfall of America, man. You have the signs, man. But they didn't receive it, whom they knew not where they came, but those brought friends into bondage. And that's all they did. You know what I mean? Sexual bondage, devious deeds, committing, you know, sins against their own body, against their own flesh, right? And loving the manner of other people who do so. as themselves, that had well deserved of them, right? So they got destroyed, man. Anybody who went down to Babylon, well, there was 5 cities, but you went down to Sodom and Gomorrah and participated in those acts. Hey, you had to get destroyed right along with it, man. And that's America. You come to America and it's whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, because they're giving you that pretty much the same slogan as what happens in Rome. Do as the Romans do. When you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. They're giving you that slogan like that. Hey, you got to get destroyed too. So with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, to the elder bishops, the brothers, and the four winds, preaching the truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father, and have come back to the fold, Shalom, to your sisters, you Akhwathium, who listen and learn of your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Bible ball.